Hi everyone. In this short video, we're going to walk through how to pull some essential attendance data from PowerSchool. We're going to specifically focus on the truancy and chronic absenteeism report. Before we dive into the how-tos, let's clarify the purpose of this report. The truancy and chronic absenteeism summary view helps us monitor students' attendance in relation to House Bill 410. Chronic absenteeism is generally defined as missing 10% or more school days. Truancy, on the other hand, is a legal term for unexcused absences that can lead to disciplinary or legal consequences for the students and or parents. We'll cover two scenarios in this video. The first one is how to run a report for a specific group of students, like a junior high team. And the second one, I'll show you how to run it for your whole school. We will be using the attendance looker to grab a group of students. So this video will be embedded on the last page of our attendance looker data studio. All right, let's get started. So in this first scenario, I am going to grab a group of students, bring them into PowerSchool, and look at their truancy and chronic absenteeism summary view. That's a mouthful. Here I am. I'm in our attendance data looker. I'm going to go over to Washington, and let's say in this scenario, I want to grab Team Falcons. So I want that group of students. So the beautiful thing with our Looker Data Studio is once I have a group, so I've got 100 kids in this group, I can then export this list to a Google Sheet. And the only reason I'm doing this is because I want to grab all those kids, their student number. So I'm going to click on this, highlight all of them, copy. So in PowerSchool, if I have a bunch of student numbers, student ID numbers, I can do this multi-select option where I can just paste a bunch of student ID numbers. And you got to make sure that this says student number, and then I can search. All right, so I got my 113. I've got the Team Falcon, I think it was. So at the bottom of this chart, I want to click on this down arrow right here. And that's going to give me a bunch of different options. And the report we want is at the very, very bottom. So right here it says truancy and chronic absenteeism summary. That's what we want. Okay, so this is the truancy and chronic absenteeism summary page. The very first part, it explains what this report is. Like we said earlier, this is related to House Bill 410. And then we have a key. So the check mark, green check mark, not at risk. There's a little triangle with an exclamation point in there, and that means that they are at risk. And then the flag indicates that they may require a notification. So they meet or exceed the House Bill 410 maximum hours. These are thresholds that are set by the district, so don't do anything there. You don't touch anything. You need to scroll down here to the very bottom. This is where we are going to focus. Now, at the top, you have a filter. So we'll talk about the filter in a minute. Down here, we have a lot of green check marks, which is fantastic. Expand, we can expand this field. So there's a little green plus. If we click on there, and then we can expand this field. Down here at the bottom, you have your navigation, so you can navigate through the pages. So you can go to page 2, page 3. Now, if you notice right here, we start to see some things that are alarming, but I'll get to that in a minute. What I like is this filter. So right here you have filters, and I can add a filter. and I'm going to go to total absent status, and I want to see the kids that may require a notification or are at risk. So I can filter that out. I can actually add another one. I can do unexcused absent status, may require notification, and at risk. So I have those two filters on there. I can apply, and I have 2 students. So if you notice, for this one student, there is a plus sign next to 19.23 consecutive unexcused absence hours column. A plus sign in this column indicates that the unexcused absences are ongoing as of this present time. If you don't see a plus sign in this column, that indicates that the string of consecutive unexcused absence hours has been broken. Now, if I take off this filter, applies. So the total absence status will, if you put that filter on there, you're gonna grab more students. So the column HB410 actions, that column displays the code associated with the most recent event found on the student truancy and excessive absence FT record. So I'm assuming that a letter was sent home maybe. If I click on the student's name, it will bring up more information about that student. So student profile, academic records, behavior, courses. The window is a little small, so you have to navigate within this little small window. But it does give you some more information, and you won't have to open up a whole new window. You can see it right here. So if I want to download this report, I can click on the down arrow here, and you can do a comma separated value, Excel spreadsheet, or printable PDF. If it's something that you want to add to, I would suggest an Excel spreadsheet. So I clicked on that. You want to name it, give it a specific name. Maybe you'd name it by the date that you ran the report. I'll just leave it like that and then save. And since you have the filter on, it is only going to show the students that were captured in that filter. But let me spread this out here. So it brings in all of that information. Oh, that's nice. The code, it actually defines the code. So the 30-hour monthly absence letter was mailed and emailed. So that's nice that it gives you that, what that code meant, because in the chart, it only said that A, but then when you download it and put it into an Excel spreadsheet, it explains what that code is. That's kind of cool. The next scenario, let's say that you just want to run this for your entire building. So I'm going to grab, like if I'm in Hiawatha, instead of doing the multi-select, you're going to click all. So I've got all the kids, and then I'm going to click on that down arrow at the bottom of the chart. Truancy and chronic absenteeism summary is the very last report. That's kind of easy to remember. It's the very last one. Once again, we have these not at risk, and then may require notification. So those are those flags that we need to keep in mind. These threshold, you just ignore this, and we're going to scroll down here. Now, that filter that I like, and you could play with the different filters, is I'm going to do total absent status. Now, like I said, you could add multiple filters here too. I'm going to do may require and at risk, because the not at risk, I'm not worried about them. I'm going to click apply, and now I have 3 students that I can expand this information. So even though they've missed quite a few days, it looks like the unexcused absences, we don't have any for this student, so they must be bringing in a note. But then down here, we do have some unexcused absences, consecutive. So that's consecutive unexcused absence hours. Now notice there's no plus sign. So what that means, so from what I read, if there's no plus sign, that indicates that the consecutive unexcused absence hours has been broken. And then once again, I can download this report by clicking that little download arrow. I can dig deeper into the student by clicking on their name. So I can scroll through this little window right here and see, oh, yep, we had an excused absence, a parent called in, we had a parent call again, and then a parent call. So that's nice. That little window gives you a lot of good information. All right, well, I hope this was helpful. This is Truancy and Chronic Absenteeism Summary that you can run for your building for specific groups of student, or you could just throw in a student number and just look at it for one student if you want to. All right, let me know if you have any questions, and have a great day.